Okay, so this is obviously not playing because you see where I'm at. I'm sweating and stuff, but I happened to see this building, and this gave me a topic to talk about because I've been on this like racial theory of whys and hows and all of that, right? So I'm over here in Fraser. This is North Memphis. If you're not familiar with Memphis, this is where the rapper Yo, like the area, the general area where the rapper Yo Gotti from. Like the place he rap about Ridgecrest is probably like 3 lights down, like three intersections down. You know what an intersection is? So this is like a small one. So I'm waiting on this ride, so this will give me time. So this reminds me of something right here, right? So you see this building right here. It says, I don't know if you can see the words from here, but it says Virginia Bright Education, Virginia, and I can't see the first name. Virginia Bright Education Building was part of the Kojic at some point, I'm guessing. So this is the thing, like this makes me think about education. So in American society, we have to have an education here. Like you have to go to school. You actually your parent. If you don't go to school, your parents will be, will face legal repercussions. So thinking about that, and this is something that I'm taking a little bit from the Black Panthers, as far as like education and stuff. See, now first the idea, like this would be this nice location right here in this nice neighborhood. Say you were from somewhere, New York, California, whatever, Chicago. I just ran into a nice person from Chicago. We were having a conversation. She was a good person. We had a good conversation or whatever. But what I was about to say is, like, now look, this would be something to do. Like, instead of buying a chain, instead of buying a car, to maybe check and see what would be the price on this building to remodel, and then open up is an education building, because the reason I say that is because in this society, and like I always say, it's not an indictment on all white people. It's not an indictment on all white people in the South. It's not an indictment on on all of America, but realistically, in this system, because I give Texas as an example, because my son down in Texas, so he'll be down there, he'll be back down there for school start or whatever, and they're not even teaching slavery in school no more. They teaching I don't even know what they're teaching now, because it's not in his books, because I've seen some of his work and it's not being taught to him. But it's not so much necessarily to teach about slavery, but it's just the idea of the education system. You being it's kind of like the religion thing I was talking about. How can we trust ourselves to be educated by a system that was intended and built for us to be a second-class citizen in America? That's what the system was built for. The original, when they built the education system, when they built the prison system, when they built the church and religion and all of that was intended with us not being an equal partner in this society with African Americans, or sometimes not just African Americans, sometimes just any minority or whatever, how you want to call it. So how can we realistically trust the system? And some places are changing, and some places are more but some places are changing for the worse too, where they're cutting things out, which I understand from their point of view why they might want to do that, because you don't want to keep teaching slavery and civil rights and stuff, and because it creates resentment for a person like me, like an intelligent person. It creates resentment because you're like, oh, all of these things, I see why I see why a lot of things are going on right now, because hundreds of years of oppression and da 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 da. So I get it from the American standpoint that you don't want to keep focusing on an issue that you can't really fix, because it's like, what can you really do to fix that? 200 years, you could, in reparations is not realistic, logistically it's not realistic. Message. I got about 5 minutes left. I'm not even gonna probably do the whole 5 minutes, because I gotta walk over here to catch this the ride home, this basically like Uber or whatever. So realistically you can't do reparations, because it's not logistically feasible. How would you decide who would get them? You know what I mean? So what if I come over to America today from Africa today? Do I get reparations because I'm black? if I came over a generation ago, or is it just the descendants of slaves? Do we know all the descendants of slaves? Can we go back that far and see and trace where all the slaves went and who kind of descended from slaves? I mean, it's possible, but logistically, it's not feasible logistically. And then what would be an amount? You know what I mean? Like, what would be an amount? Like, what could you say that's worth? You know what I mean? You think about that, there's 40 million black people in America who identify themselves as black. And then what about people who identify as mixed race people and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like how they identify themselves and things like that. So, it's just not feasible. And, they could send us back to Africa. Tickets pretty cheap, but it's like, do you just send us back with nothing? Do you send us back with $500? Do you send us back with a U.S. government grant that only can be used to, build houses or build schools or build something constructive over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ideas, there's some ideas to think about. But for now, being here, like, I feel like, and I'm not on, see, the problem we have with this, because I'm not the first person with this idea, but see, we had these people who supposed to do these schools, nothing against them, nothing against these Umars or nothing like that. But see, I feel like the problem with these people is, and this is where I'm going to end it at, because I got to go ahead and get ready. But this is where I'm going to end it at. See, the problem with these Umars, and I just seen somebody had a problem with that, like a school they're supposed to build and they haven't built, much of it and all of that. And it was similar. I feel like if you do any of this, and I feel like this goes for the churches too. I feel like if you do any of this, whether you're a preacher, whether you're an activist, whatever it is, I feel like you should take no money. Like, I feel like, you see what I got in here? Like, I feel like you should be eating noodles, and you should be eating noodles and discounted food. Like, you should have at most a per diem for food. That's it. Like, I feel like if I was the person to be in charge of this, I feel like the only thing I should have would be a per diem for food. You don't need limo service. You don't need car service. You don't need luxury clothes. You don't need jewelry. I'm talking about as a person, if you chosen as a person to lead in one of these type of positions, I feel like that's at the minimum. Now, housing, and I feel like you should be able to, like, if it was something like this, hey, build your room in a building. You know what I mean? Like, say you took this building right here, build a room in a building. Because you should be here 24/7. You should be on call 24/7. If this is your calling, and it's not just a way to get celebrity, a way to finesse and get money. You know what I'm saying? Hustling. Like I said, a lot of pimps is preachers, a lot of pimps is activists. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you want to do something like this, it should be not just non-profit, but none. You shouldn't have a salary, nothing. No, only at the minimum of your needs should be taken care of. And the minimum, which is shelter, so that's a room and a bed, and food. That's it. And if you want to say clothes, pack a t-shirt from Walmart, pack a sweat from Walmart. And like, even look, I'm not in the best financial shape right now, but I got a couple suits. You know what I mean? We could say a couple of suits. You don't need more than a couple. You don't need. You're not trying to go to Paris Fashion Week. You're trying to make change. You're trying to construct something. You're trying to educate the youth. You don't need all of this jewelry. You don't need all of this expensive travel. Hey man, you see, like I just showed you the ticket to Africa, $250. A coach seat to Africa is $250. Most places is under $500. So if you need flights or whatever, or bus travel or whatever it is, then yeah, that's absolutely necessary. You don't need to be at every conference. That's why they have video chat. That's why they have. Oh, okay, my ride's here. I gotta go. But think about that. And that's my talk for today.